Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am officially going to be sharing with you guys my numbers of all of the Bath & Body Works items I have used up in the year 2020 and comparing them to my 2019 numbers. Now this is done in an effort just to kind of take into consideration the use and the waste that is produced by something like body care. I know there's other more important things in the world like plastic water bottles or plastic bags, Ziploc bags, all of that stuff, but I like keeping track to kind of see if I can do better and do my part, as I know a lot of us here who are watching this video are avid Bath & Body Works users. So I have been tallying up. It started in 2018. I think in 2018 I only kept count of my lotions, and in 2019 then I decided to keep count of everything, and how I do that is just tallying up whatever I use up in my empties videos and then just log that for the rest of the year. I feel like, and I know for a fact, that 2020 our numbers are going to be a lot bigger, and I am just pre-warning you in the comparison numbers that there are some categories that are a lot bigger, there are some that are a lot smaller, but primarily the number for 2020 is large because I had products in places in 3 different areas. So not only was I in college, and this also has to play with the 2019 products that I have purchased. So there were some products that were half used up that got used up, that were half used up in 2019 that ended up finishing in 2020. That's why there's also a bigger number. But let's not forget that I was in 3 different places. So I was in my college apartment. I had stuff at my boyfriend's apartment, who, when we were both in college, he was only an hour away. And then I had stuff here at my parents' house in Arizona where I am now. I can't do 3 perfectly because I don't know, I think I'm gonna have like carpal tunnel or arthritis, but I've never been able to do 3 because it just hurts my wrist. So I don't bother, I always do 3 like this. So I had products in 3 different places, and you know, throughout 2019 and some part of 2020 I was moving around and using the products, so I didn't always have to lug stuff. So eventually they did all finish up in 2020. And that's why the numbers are a lot bigger, and also the amount of people who are using these things. So just forewarning. But I guess the most like category to start with is lotions. Now in 2019 I used up a total of 24 bottles of Bath & Body Works lotions. And a lot of us were like, oh my god, that is so much. And I was like, yeah, I agree, that is a lot. Let me try to do something about that. So in 2020, the number of lotions I used up was 27. Again, this has a lot to do with there was a lot of things in a lot of places, but I would like to preface this by saying that 2 of those 27 lotions were naked lotions. So these were the Lush Naked Body Lotions. There was no plastic involved. So that brings me back down to 25, which is only 1 more than 2019's usage. But one of these bottles was the giant Aveeno body lotion bottle that has 3 times the amount as a Bath & Body Works body lotion bottle does. So realistically this number could have been 28 had I not used that. And because this number is still slightly bigger than 2019's number, and you know, I don't want to keep using, you know, 25 dinkety bottles of Bath & Body Works lotions, I think what I've decided to do to try to reduce that number is primarily use Bath & Body Works items just on my arms and places where I can smell it. There's no point on putting it on my legs, especially in like a time like a winter time where like you're just putting pants on, sweats on, leggings, you're not really smelling it. I'm just gonna use like generic big bottles of lotion to off-put that waste, and I'm sure it's gonna make the smaller Bath & Body Works lotion bottles last longer, therefore producing less waste. Obviously in the summer, you know, if I'm doing something, I might want to put Bath & Body Works, like a good smelling lotion on my legs, and then I will do so. But I think throughout the year where I'm wearing like pants and things that where my legs get covered up, it makes more sense just to use regular big bottles of lotion instead of using like the nicer Bath & Body Works stuff. Therefore less usage of that. So I am excited to see, hopefully the numbers drop from that, and I guess not having to buy as much body lotion in that regards. So the number of shower gels, I actually ended up using more in 2020. So in 2019, the total number of shower gels I used was 5, which seems really, really low. But again, I was using shower gels in many, many places. And then in 2020, the shower gel count was 9. So obviously I stayed in one place. I had a brother who likes to dip into my Bath and Body Works stuff, so that number did go up quite a bit. And again, I ended up finishing a lot of the ones that I had kind of sporadically because I brought most of the stuff here to Arizona with me. So that number went up, but that's kind of like a weird one, so I don't know really what my shower gel usage is, because I only have like these 2 years to compare it to. Fine fragrance mist. These are full-size fine fragrance mist, something that's always been very difficult for me to use, therefore I don't need to be purchasing that many. In 2019, I did use up 2 full-size ones, and in 2020, I only used up 1. What can I say? It takes me a long time. I struggle with that. I had to change my camera battery because it was flashing, so if the angle and the lighting changed slightly, I do apologize. It's because of that. Let's move on to travel size items. Now for 2019, I didn't really split it up. I just tallied it up and just added how many fine fragrances I have used. So in 2019, I used a total of 15 travel sized items, 2 of those being fine fragrance mists. Now in 2020, I actually did split up the categories quite a bit, so I didn't tally it all up, but I guess I can do that at the end. So for travel size lotions, I used a total of 5. For shower gels, I used a total of 1. Fine fragrance mist, the number stayed the same. I used 2. I could have almost used 3. The one that was in my project pan consistently, and that one, or towards the end at least. So that's the Winter Candy Apple Fine Fragrance Mist, and it's actually on its last leg, but it's not finished yet, and we're already in 2021. So that would be a number for this upcoming year. I guess I used a total of 4 of the hand creams. I did purchase some at the end of 2019, so I did end up using those all up. And I actually included mini perfumes, so those are like the sample size perfumes that are included at like Sephora purchases. So I did actually end up using 2. So I used a total of 14 travel sized items, so 1 less. Almost would have been the same as 2019's numbers, so I guess I used a pretty like consistent amount. Candles, this is gonna be an interesting one. I guess not. So 2019 in August, I started school and stopped burning candles officially because I am a goody-goody and do not want to get in trouble for something you're not supposed to be doing. So my candle usage in 2019 was using up 7 full-size candles, and in 2020 I only used 5 candles. Now a big portion for this is that Arizona is really hot. We either have our windows open and the fan going, and a lot of that time period, like there was just no sense in like putting a candle on because the fan was just gonna blow it out. So I've really been using candles when either the AC was blowing or now in the winter time, where again the windows are closed, there's fragrance permeating. So I only used up 5 in 2020, which is fine. I don't know how I'm feeling about candles, honestly. As much as I love the smell and the ambiance, you're kind of just burning money. Which, you know, it's something nice, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my god, I have to have all of these candles anymore. And that's an interesting mentality, as a lot of things that I had a mentality on Bath and Body Works. I'm like, oh, like, you know, it's nice, but like it's totally a waste of money and unnecessarily, like the wallflowers for me, like I don't buy those anymore. That's unnecessary. And I'm starting to see that in candles a little bit. And I'm also tired of having like so many candles everywhere and just like feel like a hoarder, which is how I feel like right now, because I have nowhere to put them and it's just taking up so much space. And I rather have my space than, I don't know, all of these candles. So I think I'm just gonna become like a 1 to 2 candles at a time person. Maybe, I don't know. I say that now just because I'm sick and tired of like them taking up so much space, but I also love my candles, so we'll see. Hand soaps. This one is a lot different. In 2019, for the most part, it was just either me using hand soaps or when I moved in with my college roommates and there was 3 of us using a hand soap. So in 2019, I used a total of 13 hand soaps, which is averaging about, you know, once a month. That extra one could have been just a rollover product, or we just used an extra one when the time came that 3 people were using hand soaps. And then in 2020, because I started not only just keeping a Bath & Body Works hand soap in the bathroom, but I also started putting it in our kitchen since I have been at my parents' house for most of 2020, and I didn't keep one in the kitchen in college because then everyone uses it, and I don't know, because people were like stingy about it, we just kept it in the bathroom. So in 2020, I used a total of 20 hand soaps, but 2 of those hand soaps were naked hand soaps. So just a bar of soap. Those were from Lush, not just like Irish Spring. So, you know, that's still 7 more hand soaps, but again, now I'm putting hand soaps in the downstairs kitchen. I have started supplying my parents with hand soaps, so I imagine 2021's number for at least, I don't know what's gonna happen in 2021 in regards to like my living situation, because there's a lot of things that are up in the air that hopefully I get to share soon, as soon as I know if it's something good, and if it's not, well then we'll just be here. So the number might be more at the end of 2021 in regards to hand soaps, and plus we're like in a global pandemic, so I think it's good that we're washing our hands. Pocket bags. You know, I haven't bought any pocket bags, so I wouldn't be surprised if the number went down, but in 2019, I used up a total of 4 pocket bags, and in 2020, I only used up 3 pocket bags. I just, as a biology major, I know that pocket bags are not like, or hand sanitizer is not the best to use. If you can wash your hands, definitely do that over using hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer should only be used like in emergency cases where you can't wash your hands. So even now in this situation, I only use hand sanitizer when it's absolutely like necessary and I can't step away, and that's mostly at work. Everything else, I just wait to wash my hands. So yeah. Car portables. This is a big difference in numbers. In 2019, I was using my car a lot. Maybe as soon as I started college, a lot less, because I had no need to leave campus except to like go get groceries or go to like the train station to go see a boyfriend, unless I was driving. So in 2019, I used up a total of 3 car portables, and in 2020, since I did not have my car for literally since March, I only used up 1 car portable. Finally got my car, so yay. So all of my stuff is officially now with me. Don't know if I'm really, car portable is another thing. I'm just like, what's the point of spending your money on that? I feel like the Bath & Body Works ones, they're only really good for the first 2 weeks, and even then, like the first week, it's just so overpowering, especially for just myself, that I just kind of feel like it's not worth it. If you don't like have food in your car, like, and if you do, just air it out and you'll be fine. I don't think there's a reason for a car portable. And I think at car washes, if you go to car washes, like it's a part of the cost. So something I didn't keep track of in 2018 was room sprays, but it is something I kept track of in 2020, and I did use a total of 2 room sprays in 2020. And that is all I have. So those are all my numbers. Obviously the one big scary number that it's like that's very wasteful is the body lotion category. I do want to try using just generic giant bottles, like value size bottles of generic lotion on my legs, just to off-put the usage. It will make my body lotions last a lot longer, which in turn would mean less usage. And even the hand soaps, as much as I love the hand soaps, and because of the year and we've all been inside, I think having the Bath & Body Works hand soaps have been really nice and a little bit of a boost for everyone in like the smallest, tiniest way. But I think as hopefully 2021 we see life return to a little bit pre-global pandemic, I want to look back into not using so many bottles. So that's either, I know like my parents like to buy like the big giant value size of hand soap that you just refill them with, but I also want to toy with plastic free hand soap. So those are like, I know there's like tablets that you like drop into water, like an already existing container, and then you have foaming hand soap, and that's the most like eco-friendly way to use hand soap. So I definitely want to get into that this year, especially as I start using up what I have and start making the switch over, just because I think that's another category that is really not like necessary to be so wasteful in, as nice as it is, as much as we all love seeing it. I just don't want that high of a number anymore. Like, at what cost? And usually it's all fun and games when like you're doing your SAS sale haul and like, look at what I got, it smells so nice, and then in your empties, but then you tally up like your empties and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of waste that could be fixed. So yeah, those were my 2020 numbers. I hope I challenge you or inspire you. Well, I'm gonna challenge you guys all who like to film empties videos or like to use these items up to just, I don't know, a lot of people love planning or have notebooks. I like challenge you to keep track of your usage, your family usage of these items, and just see at the end of the year like how much you use and see if that's eye-opening to you. Because I always feel horrible, and you know, I always try to fix it, but then, you know, something gets thrown at your face and you forget about it and you go back to your old ways. So I know that this year's numbers are particularly, or last year's numbers are particularly high because I had so many Bath & Body Works products in so many places and I brought it all home, so it all got used up. But still, that's still the same amount of plastic regardless of when it would have been used up or not. So just a penny for your thoughts. But I hope you guys can enjoy the rest of your day or evening or afternoon wherever you're watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.